Ray Santos and his orchestra, his Caribbean music experience, playing a tune of Nora Morales called Ponce, and before that, his own tune called Yuki You. Ray Santos is my guest in this hour of Around New York. There's more. Stay tuned.
Great.
Fabulous, fellas. Fabulous.
On the next Fresh Air, we talk with Sarah Jessica Parker. She stars in the new comedy Miami Rhapsody. She also starred in Honeymoon in Vegas, L.A. Story, and the TV sitcom Square Pegs. Guess what? As a girl, she was Annie on Broadway. I'm Terry Gross. I hope you'll join us for the next Fresh Air.
This afternoon at 4 on WNYC, FM 93.9.
Local support for this program is provided by the Public Theater, presenting Silence, Cunning, Exile, Stuart Greenman's new play suggested by events in the life of Diane Arbus, beginning February 7th. For tickets, call 212-260-2400.
Ray Santos is my guest. I'm Steve Sullivan. This is Around New York. Ray Santos has worked in the music business for 40 years and with the greatest names in not only Latin, but everybody. Nat Cole, Tony Bennett. Who else have you worked with?
Well, I was a member of orchestras in Puerto Rico that accompanied these artists, Nat and Tony Bennett.
He's here with his 17-piece band, which plays what he calls the Caribbean music experience, and I want to ask you how you formed that in just a moment. You were born and raised in New York City, went to Juilliard, worked here for many years, and then went to Puerto Rico in the 60s and 70s.
Right.
Why did you do that?
Mainly because my children were infants, and the weather down there in Puerto Rico was more conducive to their health. Okay. So we moved down there for them, and I stayed there 18 years. 18
years?
Yeah.
And you worked down there?
Yeah.
In doing all sorts of things, like what?
Recordings, television, arranging for acts and dances around town.
And that's in fact where you worked with all these people, right?
Yes.
What was it like working with Nat Cole? When did you work with him?
This was in 1962.
A hotel engagement?
Yeah, Hotel San Juan
in
Puerto Rico.
People have to remember that everybody back then in the 50s and 60s did at least one, everybody in the music business did at least one Latin album.
Right, yeah, Nat was very popular with his Cole Español.
Oh yeah, that was a big album for him.
Very, very big for him.
Yeah. How did you get started becoming a very famous arranger for Latin bands? You started with Machito?
Machito and Nora Morales were my first main experiences.
And how did you learn, because were you studying composition and arranging in Juilliard?
Not really. I more or less picked it up by myself in Juilliard. What I studied was the academic harmony and orchestration, and then when I went out into the field to work as a musician, then just playing with orchestras, I picked up on the big band style of arranging.
Who was your biggest influence in?
I would say Rene Hernandez and Chico Farrell.
Who worked a lot with?
Machito.
Machito. You came back to the United States, to New York in when,
83.
And in 86 you won an award. You won a Grammy.
Yeah.
What was that for?
I think that was the Eddie Palmieri. Eddie Palmieri, we did an album called Palo Pa Rumba that Eddie won an award for that.
You, I mentioned at the beginning of the hour, some folks may have heard me mention the Mambo Kings.
Mambo Kings, yes.
And you did some of the arranging for that movie.
Yes, I arranged all the rhythm music, all the dance music for the film.
Which was a lot.
Yeah, quite a bit.
And you had an Academy nomination for that.
Yes.
And who sang the tunes for those who hadn't seen the movie? Some of them.
In the movie, Antonio Banderas sang Beautiful Maria of My Soul, and Linda Ronstadt sang Perfidia.
So then you and Linda Ronstadt did an album after that.
Right.
How did that happen?
Well, when we were doing the Mambo Kings soundtrack, she liked the Afro-Caribbean rhythm so much that she wanted to do a complete album of her own. for Electro Records.
She's been and she must have heard you in the, well, I mean, you worked together in the movie.
Yeah.
Tell me the difference between, I see all these terms for Latin music, Latin, salsa, Afro-Cuban jazz. Is there a difference?
It's all part of the same thing, just different categories. Salsa is the name that they use for the contemporary Afro-Caribbean dance styles.
And all of it